The episode begins with Adonis reminiscing about the first time he met Ophelia, and she told him that she could cure Chloe and wouldn't let her die. From her perspective, witches never lie because the world reveals the true nature of humans, and humans don't know what the future holds, so they have nothing to fear. Then, we see Adonis, Ophelia, and the witches of this city standing in front of a tree, all looking at Chloe, the sick girl, who is perched on this tree. They all try to heal her, but Adonis doesn't do it. Despite loving her deeply, he won't treat her, as he doesn't want her to feel that way again. There is no place for her in this harsh world, and she won't be able to bear all these burdens. Adonis decides to use his power to replace his memories of longing with different memories. Indeed, Adonis does so, shocking everyone with his power. At this time, Dorica descends from the tree, and Adonis grabs her. When she wakes up from her slumber, he tells her that he didn't want to leave his debt unpaid. Dorica gathers her strength and learns that she is in the land of the witches called Lunamelia. She finds herself in front of Lady Ophelia and the other witches but doesn't know what she is doing here. All she remembers is being shot. Adonis then calms her and brings her clothes to wear. Adonis then tells her that she saved him in Rydia, and now they are even. She asks about Chloe, and Adonis doesn't respond. He wants her to die and never appear again. Ophelia speaks to him, saying that what he is doing is impossible. They did everything they could to help him, risking their lives to save him. They treated all his wounds and ensured his safety. They tried to heal Chloe so that she could live again, but he's wasting all their efforts. How can he do such things? He has become a mere human who never truly loved his teacher. All the witches mock him because he betrayed them in the end, abandoning Chloe and choosing to treat Dorica instead. Ophelia spoke with Dorica, expressing her suspicion that she implanted an idea in Adonis' head, which led him to abandon Chloe. Dorica couldn't respond, but Adonis ordered everyone to keep their mouths shut, dismissing them as mere witches with no value. He then declared that he would never treat Chloe, and this was his final decision. He wouldn't change his mind, which led Ophelia to mock him for boasting in front of those who had helped him and then doing such despicable things with them. In their eyes, he had become a mere human. During this conversation, suddenly, strange creatures appeared, and Dorica didn't know what Adonis had done. Adonis apologized to her, telling her that it would be a long night. He handed her a shard and revealed his plan to hunt humans himself, not wanting anyone to interfere. The shard exploded, causing fear among everyone. Then, to the astonishment of all, Adonis set fire to the tree on which Chloe was perched, leaving everyone shocked as their lifeline burned. At that moment, Yamato, the director of the National Security Office, appeared, unaware that one of the witches was still here. He brought many of his men, mocking the witches as the last remnants of an evil lineage. All of them were like rats in a cage. Adonis informed Yamato that he was the one who called them here to this graveyard to fight them. One of the witches spoke to Ophelia, assuring her not to worry as the fires on their tree would subside. Using her water magic, she directed it toward the tree, but she couldn't complete the spell as one of Yamato's men struck her on the head, splitting her in half. Ophelia was shocked by what was happening, not knowing what to do to save her city. She then called upon Santa Maria for help. Santa used her magic on all the witches, and they changed into appropriate battle attire. They decided to defeat Yamato and his men, preparing for the bloody battle. The fight began with Adonis, who used summoning magic in a linear fashion, causing Yamato to rush at him with his sword, injuring Adonis in the face. Adonis took Yamato's weapon and struck him with it, causing Yamato to fall to the ground. Adonis continued to strike the man with the gun repeatedly, causing him significant pain as the damage escalated. Adonis told him to get up since he came to kill him. Dorica intervened and held the man back to stop Adonis from hitting him further. Then, the scene shifts to Crystal Maya, the gem witch, using her power on the soldiers. Many gems appear on the soldiers, rendering them unable to move or breathe as they continuously grow. Dakaya, the snake and venom witch, joins the attack, unleashing her snakes to attack and kill the soldiers. Following that, Gliana uses her power, the flock, to attack them with arrows and tree branches. Olivia also uses her power, lifting the soldiers into the air. They attempt to shoot her but fail, and she traps them in a black circle, ultimately killing them. Olivia expresses her belief that humans are very weak, like babies, and she believes victory will be on their side. More soldiers appear, and Olivia remarks that they are trying to outnumber them. The scene then shifts to the director, asking Sheeta why there are still so many witches despite their extermination efforts. Sheeta explains that this particular model was cast into the depths of space after being used during the witch extermination war. However, witches seem to have captured them, and the director questions if they used their knowledge to escape. Sheeta apologizes for not having discovered this earlier. The director questions her again, pointing out that the moon base they built was hidden from their astronomical radar by magical camouflage. He confronts her, asking why she allowed this to happen. He warns that this failure will cost more than just her life. Shirozaki then speaks, suggesting that they should think about how to end this situation, as people are interested in hunting witches. Afterward, the scene shifts to a girl in a box, and Yamato remarks that Yuki was in his class when she joined the National Security Office. Yuki did the same thing when she became the director and became the youngest deputy director in history. She is quite amazing. Yamato asks Sheeta why she said that everything would be fine. He reminds her that Yuki was only 14 years old at the time. The scene then shifts to the head of the soldiers, and he tells Adonis that everything happening is his fault, and he will pay a high price for it. He boosts his power to 500%, and Adonis attempts to shoot him, but the man is too fast after increasing his speed. He delivers a powerful blow to Adonis's face, causing him to fall to the ground. Dorica rushes to check on him, and the furious head of the soldiers, Yamato, is surprised to find Adonis standing with the witches even though he is a human. In his anger and fury, Yamato grabs his sword. Yamato then recalls memories of Yuki, his beloved, and the happy moments they shared together. He becomes deeply saddened by these memories and sheds tears. He expresses his desire to find a peaceful place to live with Yuki once the war is over. However, in his rage and enhanced power, he wants to take revenge on all the witches. He uses Ayagari, the witch slayer, to attack and intends to kill all the witches with this blow. Adonis manages to evade this attack, causing just a minor injury to his face. Dorica's friend, the witch Anna, uses her resurrection magic at the right moment to bring her back to life, and Dorica thanks her deeply for being her friend. However, Anna dies shortly after. Dorica is deeply saddened and screams in grief. Meanwhile, the National Security Office contacts the headquarters, reporting that they have lost the video feed, and they cannot assess the situation. They request an immediate update. Dorica is seen crying intensely due to the loss of her friend Anna, and she pleads with everyone to stop the killing and the bloodshed. The scene then shifts to Adonis and the commander, Yamato, who tells Adonis that he will kill him and make him pay a high price for everything he has done. He informs the National Security Office that they have successfully eliminated all the witches and that only the boy remains, whom he will eliminate in an instant. Adonis then removes his cloak, using his magic to attack. Yamato tries to strike him with his sword, but Adonis swiftly avoids the attack. Adonis then uses a powerful spell and strikes Yamato. Yamato attempts to deflect it with his sword, but this blow shatters his sword and causes a severe injury. Adonis tries to strike him again, but Yamato successfully blocks it and increases his power significantly. He quickly renews his sword, and Adonis realizes that it was a trick to catch him off guard. Yamato is determined to eliminate him. Then Yamato strikes him with a very powerful blow with his sword, but Adonis tries to block it with both of his hands, and suddenly we notice the presence of some witches who haven't completely died but have been severely wounded. They say, "We are now defeated." Queen of the Witches, in her final breath, tells them not to give up and that the tree of Mito has been completely burned and will never give birth to witches again. One of the witches, in an emotional outburst, says, "We won't surrender. We can't bear to lose more of us. Let's support Adonis and defeat the National Security Bureau." Suddenly, one of the soldiers kills her and many soldiers join him in killing many of the witches. We switch to the fight between Yamato and Adonis once again, and Yamato uses his thermal electric outputs to their maximum extent, creating a massive bloody storm. Adonis tries to penetrate it but in vain, until suddenly, a sword emerges from Yamato and pierces his body. However, he is not dead yet, but he is severely wounded. Yamato scoffs at him, saying, "Is this all the witches can do?" But suddenly, Adonis activates a very powerful spell, and a sword appears in the sky, cutting off Yamato's arm, causing massive damage to his body. Adonis says, "You and I want revenge, and we share the same look in our eyes." The scene then shifts to the Jinn who want to kill these two witches. One of the witches begs them not to kill her, and a soldier tells her that he doesn't even feel pleasure in this anymore. We return to this intense battle between Adonis and Yamato, where Yamato vows to kill him and the rest of the witches who were killed from the other side. We then switch to the headquarters of the National Science Agency, where they inquire about what happened to those who led the attack because there is no video footage that shows what happened there. All the cameras are currently disabled. Has he eliminated them, and are they from the National Security Bureau? The director, Yamato, suddenly captures their attention and displays the video on the screen in real time. He informs them that they have won and to immediately inform His Majesty the ruler. All the witches on the surface of the moon have perished, and everyone rejoices at this news. But has all the witches really died, and has our hero Adonis died? This is what we will find out in the next episode, so stay tuned.